Hello dear students, welcome back to physics online class. In last class we got that meaning of relative density. That relative density also we can call it as a specific gravity. So relative density and specific gravity will give the same meaning here. So what's the meaning of relative density here? Density of the substance divided by density of the water at 4 degrees Celsius, right? So this is the expression for relative density. Now in today's session, so we'll focus on relative density of solid, relative density of the liquid, and so if the body is immersed in water or immersed in any kind of liquid, some of the objects will get sink into the fluid and some of the objects are get float on the surface of the water or on the surface of the liquid, we can consider, right? So why some object will get sink into the fluid and why some objects are getting float on the surface of the liquid, we can understand, right? So let us begin with the concept of relative density of solid. So these are all neat applications here. Relative density of solid. So these are all neat concept here. For example, I will take one body here. Weight of the body will be W1 in air. Now that body I will immerse in the liquid, then its weight becomes W of 2. Why? Because when the body is immersed in the liquid, weight of the body will get decreases. We know the sense. For example, if W1 be the weight of the body in air and W2 be the weight in liquid or water, we can consider, right? Now we can consider that relative density of the solid here. So relative density, which is equal to density of the substance divided by, so density of the substance divided by density of the water at 4 degrees Celsius, right? Now we can consider the concept of buoyant force here. So buoyant force, which is equal to F of B, buoyant force which is equal to W1 minus of W2, right? Weight W1 minus of W2, which is equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity into density of water divided by density of the substance, right? M into G is nothing but weight W1. Look at here, W1 minus of W2, which is equal to W1 into density of water divided by density of the substance. Now I will take these term into numerator. Density of substance divided by density of water, which is equal to W1 as it is divided by W1 minus of W2. Look at here. According to the definition of relative density, density of the substance divided by density of the water at 4 degrees Celsius. Density of the substance divided by density of the water at 4 degrees Celsius, which is equal to W1 means weight of the body in water. Weight of the body in water, right? What about the W1 minus of W2 here? W1 minus of W2, which is represents that loss in weight of the body in water. Loss in weight of the body in water, we can consider. So look at here, weight of the body in air here, weight of the body in air divided by loss in weight of the body in water. So this is about relative density of solid. So next we'll discuss about that relative density of liquid. I will consider apart from the water. Relative density of the liquid, right? For example, W1 is the weight of the body in air, I consider. W2 be the weight of the body in water. Then I will take that W3 be the weight of the body weight of the body in liquid I can consider. Then from the buoyant force, W1 minus of W3, which is equal to m into g, density of liquid divided by density of the substance we can consider, right? Density of the liquid divided by density of the substance, right? M into g I will take it as W1 minus of W3, which is equal to W1 into density of liquid divided by density of the solid, right? Now density of the substance divided by density of the liquid, which is equal to W1 divided by W1 minus of W3. I will name this as equation 2 and this I will name it as equation 1. Now I will divide equation 1 and 2. Divide equation 1 and 2. I will get that density of the liquid divided by density of the water. So look at here, density of the substance divided by density of water, and here density of the substance divided by density of the liquid, which is equal to W1 divided by W1 minus of W2 whole divided by W1 divided by W1 minus of W of 3, right? So in this equation, d of s term will getting cancelled out, W1 term is getting cancelled out, d of L goes to numerator, d of L divided by d of W, density of the liquid divided by density of the water, which is equal to, this term will goes to numerator, W1 minus of W3 divided by W1 minus of W2. Look at here, density of the liquid divided by density of the water. Here W1 minus of W3 means loss in weight of the body in liquid divided by loss in weight of the body in water. In that statement form I can say density of the liquid divided by density of the water, which is equal to loss in weight of the body in liquid divided by loss in weight of the body in water. I can say W1 minus W3 represents that loss in weight of the body in liquid divided by loss in weight of the body in water. So I hope you know the meaning of relative density of solid as well as relative density of liquid. So relative density of solid, relative density of liquid, and density of the liquid divided by density of the water. This is the connecting formula. Okay. So from Archimedes principle we come to know that, so in case of that buoyant force, so buoyant force act on the fluid, means that fluid must be static. Buoyant force act on a static fluid which is numerically equal to weight of the liquid is displaced in a vertically upward direction. So it means that whatever the static fluid you can consider, if you immerse any kind of body in the static fluid, then the fluid level is getting rise upward direction. Up to what extent that level of the fluid is rising upward direction? Up to that weight of the body we can consider, right? So in case of that Archimedes principle, so generally we know the thing, some body will get sink into the liquid and some body will get float on the surface of the liquid. So why such phenomena are getting occurs here? Why some bodies are getting sink and why some bodies are getting float on the surface of the water or surface of that any liquid you can consider? Even a small stone is going to sink into the water, and so large kind of wood is going to float on the surface of the water. So this is because of that differ in the density of the substance as well as differ in the density of the water we can consider. So in order to understand such thing, so we'll understand about that law of flotation. Law of flotation, neat aspect discuss. For example, I will take one container here, right? That container is filled with liquid. This container is filled with liquid. Let density of this liquid will be sigma. What about the density of liquid here? Density of the liquid is sigma. I will take one body here. This object having density rho. right? Now if suppose in that first case, if density of the body is greater than the density of the liquid, then what happens here? If density of the body, whatever the body I consider here, its density is very much high as compared to the density of the liquid, then this body is get sink into the water or get sink into the fluid, we can consider. When the body will get sink into the liquid here, if density of the substance is greater than the density of the liquid here, so that is, if density of the body is greater than the density of liquid, right? If density of the body is greater than the density of the liquid, then body get sink, we can consider, right? In that first case, density of the body is greater than the density of the fluid, then the body will get sink here. Now for example, if density of the body which is equal to density of the liquid, then what happens here? So look at here. So second case I will take, if rho is equal to sigma, it means that density of the body which is equal to density of the liquid here. If density of the body which is equal to density of the liquid means, so net force act on the body becomes 0. Why? Because weight is acting downward direction, buoyant force is acting upward direction. If both are having the same density means net force act on the body is 0. So if net force act on the body is 0 means the object will get float here. In which fashion the object is getting float here? The object is getting float, top surface of the object is in contact with the surface of the fluid. So look at here, this is top surface of the object. This top surface of the object is contact with the surface of the liquid. In this manner the object is getting float in the liquid, we can consider. So look at here, if density of the body which is equal to density of the liquid means, that is object get float, object get float here, object get float. If object get float, then top surface athwa, so top of the body is in contact with surface of the liquid or water, we can consider, liquid or water. So top surface of the body is in contact with the surface of the fluid. Then third case I will take it here. Suppose if density of the body is very much less than that of density of the fluid, then what happens here? Again look at here, whatever the object I am going to trying to immerse in the fluid or liquid, so that body having very less dense, so density of the body is very much lesser than the density of the liquid, then body is again float on the surface of the water or surface of the liquid. So in which manner it is getting float means, partially it is immersed into the water and partially it is exposed to the outside, like that. So in this case the object, top surface of the object is in contact with the surface of the liquid here, but if the density of the body is very much less than that of density of the liquid, then the body is partially immersed and partially it is exposed to the outside, we can consider, if density of the body is less than that of density of the liquid. Then so this phenomenon is happens just because of weight which is equal to thrust force, right? So weight of the body, m into g, so where m we can consider as volume into density into g. Here thrust force, volume inside the, so inside volume we can consider how much volume is getting immersed here. volume inside, density of the liquid is sigma and g. G term will get cancelled out here. V into rho, which is equal to volume of the body is immersed inside into sigma. How much volume is inside that liquid here? How much volume of the body is? So inside the liquid I can consider. So I want to find out this portion here. So how much volume is immersed here in the liquid? Volume inside, which is equal to V into rho divided by sigma, right? So inside volume, right? Then what about that volume outside here? V out we can consider volume outside, which is equal to total volume minus of volume inside. V out, which is equal to V minus of V in is nothing but what? V by sigma into rho. So just make that. So V into sigma minus of V into rho divided by sigma. So volume outside, which is equal to, right? If I take that V as a common, sigma term will getting cancelled out. 1 by 1 minus of rho divided by sigma. This is the required expression for volume outside the liquid here. V, which is equal to total volume into 1 minus of rho means density of the body, sigma means density of the liquid. So this is that law of flotation concept. If density of the body is very much greater than the density of the fluid, the body is getting sink. If density of the body, which is equal to density of the liquid, then body is getting float. Top surface of the body is in contact with the surface of water. If the density of the body is very much less than the density of the liquid, then body which is partially float here. So partially float means some of the portion is dipped into the fluid and some of the portion is present outside the liquid, we can say. Then the volume which is inside, so V into rho by sigma here. The volume which is present outside, V into 1 minus of rho by sigma, right? So in case of that hydrostatics, so hydrostatics means which deals with the study of properties of the fluid when fluid is at rest, right? Then we got that expression for pressure exerted by the fluid, pressure which is equal to rho g into h. So pressure which depends upon the density, which depends upon the acceleration due to gravity, and which depends upon the height. Then for example, I will take that 3 different container here. This is one container and this is second container and this is third container. These container having different weight, W of A, W of B and W of C. Let us take that W of A is smaller than that of W of B and W of B is which is smaller than that of W of C. Even though it is having different weight, whether pressure act on these 3 bodies same or different, I need to find out here. For example, I will take that height of the fluid in all these 3 container will be same, right? If that height of the container is same, means pressure P which is equal to rho into G into H. So same liquid I consider, on these 3 liquids same gravity is acting and height is same, means pressure is same we can consider. It means that pressure is independent on the shape of the container. So look at here, did you get my point? In case of that 3 different container, these 3 different container having different weight, even though having different weight, pressure act at the bottom will be remains same we can consider. Why? Because height of the liquid is remains same in all the flask. So I can consider that pressure is remains same. Or we can consider that another example here. This is tube having different shape, I can take it here. Even though having that different shape, all these shape of the flask having that of same kind of height. Here height will be same, h we can consider. If height is remains same, so if height is remains same, means pressure act will be remain same. So this is all about hydrostatic.